So a little bit about me. You know, I went to Center High School, graduated in '78 from there. I went to Carnegie Mellon, studied engineering, and I worked for civil engineering firms in the Washington, D.C. area for about five and a half years. But then I got into the healing arts field, health and healing arts field, because of the issues that I had with my body. I had so much back pain, neck pain, fatigue, didn't digest food well, arthritis, arthritic burn, degenerating joints, bad shoulders, bad neck, all sorts of things. I couldn't sleep, woke up exhausted every day, and was struggling. And I always believed that there was some way you can overcome all this. I didn't believe our bodies were designed to be miserable and not function well. There had to be a reason. And I knew I wasn't drug deficient. But it turns out I was significantly nutrient deficient, and we're going to talk a lot about that and how that interacts with allergies as well. A little bit of an FDA disclaimer: I'm not a medical doctor. I don't treat, I don't cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. And this presentation and these statements are for informational purposes only. They're not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, prevent any disease. And should you have any medical condition, you're advised to seek the licensed healthcare practitioner. And good luck with that. So this is my topic. Allergies and other health challenges, they don't have to be a life sentence. With proper diet, nutrition, digestion, voltage, and time, you can detoxify, you can rebuild, you can improve and or restore your health. And your lifestyle brought you the health challenges you have. So it'll take a change in your lifestyle to affect a change in your health. And folks, there's no magic pill. There's no magic pill that can miraculously transform your health challenges, into a non-existent state. It was your lifestyle, the lack of daily complete nutrition, exposure to toxins, the habitual way you react to certain situations, past physical, emotional, and chemical traumas, the lack of movement or exercise, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All these things brought you to the condition your body and your mind are in. And there's not one little magic pill that can fix that. It's going to take some effort on your part to change your lifestyle, change your nutrition status, change the way you eat, change the way you heal your body, change the way you move, all these things. But this is basically what I do. When people come to see me, we're going to test on all these things and get you on a program that can hopefully reverse your health challenges. I will aid and assist you in improving your nutritional status, and we're going to let your body fix itself. I'm not going to give you drugs. You're never drug deficient, but most people are significantly nutrient deficient. And I energy test people, I muscle test people for these things. So muscle testing, it's a method of accessing the way energy flows in your body. And you can test different reflex points on your body, the way electrical impedance flows with the flow and voltage of energy. You can test all of this by touching different reflexes on your body while you're testing a muscle and testing a muscle for strength. And you can use any muscle. I've used people's legs before, but I like using the arm. Just stick out your arm and test different reflexes and see how you're strong in all these things. You do the same thing with foods. So you do the same thing with supplements. You can do the same thing with samples of trees, grasses, cats, molds, all sorts of things. I don't know if you can see back here, but I have a whole row of all these different testing kits like this that have vials in them that are charged with the energies of all these different things. This one in particular here has, sodium chloride, iodized salt, plain salt, rock salt, sea salt, arrowroot, sage, spelt, all these different corns, plant phytochemicals, all these things. I have probably 50 of these different cases of all these different testing kits like Lyme disease testing kit, testing kits like heavy metals. I have all sorts of things to test you with to see how well you respond to all these things. So we're going to hit different acupuncture, acupressure, reflex points on your body, different energy points, and test a muscle strength against these things. And where you fail, then what we do about this? And that's the bulk of what I do here in the office. We find which particular nutrients strengthens your negative response to these things. Or if it's something like grasses, there's a lot of people who have all these allergies to grasses. Some people have allergies to trees, ragweed, all sorts of things. We can do an allergy reversal treatment for that. And we're going to talk more about that in a moment. So here's a picture of acupuncture energy meridian lines that flow up and down the body. Going up and down the back, the bladder lines on either side of your spine. On the front, the circulation and sex energy meridians right down the middle of your body, and right on either side of that's a kidney, right beside that's stomach, spleen, and bladder. So if you have a scar in any of these areas, you can block the way energy flows or voltage flows, but if you can touch different points along there, you can see how well the voltage is flowing in your liver, lungs, spleen, kidney, large intestine, and so forth, just with simple kinesiology tests, muscle tests, energy tests. So, allergy elimination desensitization procedure. And now this is a method of stimulating acupuncture points running up down your spine while you hold in a jar of substance that you had a problem with during a muscle test. Let me give you for instance in this. There are people who brought me in their dog fur or cat fur in a jar, and we test them on that and see how well they respond to it. And a lot of people have cat allergies. And over the past couple of years, I've accumulated a big pile of all these jars of cat fur. So I put a whole bunch of cat furs into one jar. This looks gross. It sounds silly, but everything is an energy. Everything emits an energy. And many people can't handle the energy that this emits. And doing this procedure helps to limit or reduce or eliminate your negative response to the energies this gives off. And people have told me, I'm not allergic to my cat anymore. I've heard this over and over and over again. We're going to talk more about that in a minute. Okay. So basically you stimulate all these acupressure points and rub it down the spine while you hold this. And I test you beforehand, and people are super weak beforehand. And I test them after doing the stimulation, all those breathing techniques. I test them afterwards, and they're super strong. This is just mind-blowing. I had this done by Dr. Weiner and Dr. Kerry years and years ago. It was my first exposure to this. And it was really, really mind-blowing to me and effective. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. Now, so how does this work? What kind of sense does this make to hold this and stimulates points on your body resets? We're going to get into that. So absolute zero is the lowest temperature that is theoretically possible. That's the temperature to which the motion of particles that constitutes heat can be minimal. The way the electron cloud spins around the nucleus, that can stop. And that, and as that moves, it's generating heat. So it is zero on the Kelvin scale, which is minus 460 degrees, roughly. And this is actually colder than some of your ex-spouses. So you might want to write that down. So minus 460 degrees. Above that temperature, molecules have an electron cloud that's moving around the nucleus. These molecules are emitting an electromagnetic radiant energy field. This generates its own unique frequency of vibration and its own unique electromagnetic radiant energy field. Like the molecular structure of this product is different than the molecular structure of this one, and it's different than this one. So each one of these things has their own unique field that it gives off. Your body is the same way. Everything around you is made of molecules. All molecules have that nucleus with spinning electrons, even the desk you may be sitting in front of. Or your computer, your screen you're sitting in front of, all those parts basically have electron clouds that are moving and spinning and vibrating and so forth. Everything gives off an energy unless you're at absolute zero, and that's when things really slow down. But above that, your body will respond to some energies and you're poorly, and some energies you'll respond very well to. And you can quickly muscle test this and find out how well you respond to all these different foods and cheeses and dogs and cats and literally anything, even thoughts. So, everything's made of molecules. There's this electron cloud that spins around everything. It generates its own unique frequency of vibration, its own electromagnetic radiation spectrum coming off of it. Your body's the same way. Every part of your body is made of these molecules. We are a mass of interworking electromagnetic fields and radiant energy. And certain energies are going to amplify us and make us strong. And certain energies are going to take us down and make us weak. So energy sensitivity, your body is completely energy sensitive. You generate electrical current. All of your cells are in communication with all the other cells constantly. Electricity flows nearly at the speed of light. Every part of your body is in constant contact with all other parts of your bodies at all the time. Everything vibrates and generates its own natural electromagnetic field and its own natural frequency of vibration. If you grab an electrical hot wire it doesn't just shock your fingertips, it just hits your whole body instantly because we're totally interconnected. So the instant I touch anything, my toes know whether this field that this goes off is going to amplify me and make me strong, or whether it's going to make me weak and basically work against me. And you can use this type of energy testing, muscle testing, allergy testing to see how your body responds to literally anything. So how about that? The instant you touch or you think about anything, your entire body senses the field that this gives off. Your body instantly knows whether it's going to constructively interfere with you or destructively interfere with you. And you can use this to your advantage. You know, this is what I do all the time. People come in and I test them on all these foods and all these things. You can simply use a muscle test to test this. And this also can be done remotely. You know, you literally don't have to be here. It may be, you know, a little more, I don't know, you feel better about it if you were here. But, you know, I've saved my brother Ken's dog, Binks. I saved my brother's dog's life 3 times by remotely testing him. We changed his diet, changed his nutrition status, and he turned back around. Okay, so where did this all start? It all started with Dr. George Goodheart. Dr. George Goodheart was a chiropractor. He invented taping and he invented applied kinesiology. He attended the University of Detroit and the National College of Chiropractic. After graduating in 1939, this has been going on for a long time. You know, why aren't your medical doctors taught this? Obviously, if it's effective and it will interfere with pharmaceutical cells, then can't have that, right? So after graduating in 1939, Dr. Goodheart, he practiced in the downtown Detroit area with his father, George Goodheart Sr., for over 30 years. So he moved to an office in Grosse Pointe, Michigan, where he made observations about muscle function and health, and he introduced applied kinesiology. That's a fancy word for what I do. I'm a muscle tester, I'm an energy tester, I'm an applied kinesiology specialist. So the International College of Applied Kinesiology, the ICAK, was founded in 1975. So what is that, 45 years ago, to provide instruction on Dr. Goodhart's research and to interested healthcare professionals. Now, if this is some fluky fly-by-night thing, it still wouldn't be in existence. This has been proven, researched, proven to be effective, and there's a whole college that teaches this. So Dr. Goodheart served as chairman of the research committee for the International College of Applied Kinesiology for over 32 years. Goodheart authored many books on applied kinesiology, and he lectured on the topic frequently. Dr. Goodheart and his mentor, Dr. Johnson, taught the method of testing and pressuring reflex points in your mouth to help heal the body. Now, like I said, our whole body is interconnected, and all these energy meridian lines, the way energy flows in your body, all ends up going through your mouth, and you can stimulate points in your mouth to help up energy flow to different points of your body. And this is what he was doing with this. So along comes Dr. Dick Versendaal, and I was trained by Dr. Dick Versendaal. I went to 2 of his training classes. I studied his training videos, and one of his instructors is Dr. Freddie Ullin. And Dr. Freddie Ullin started his own nutrition response testing. I went to his training classes, got his videos, and studied his system as well, which are all very similar. It's all based on the same premise that energy flows in your body, and you can access the way energy flows and see how well, you know, voltage is going through your lungs, your liver, your spleen, your kidney, your large intestine, and so forth. So here's Dr. Versendaal's one of his famous quotes. He says, when you have heartaches and broken hearts and you're not happy, your brain or your heart, you experience that in your bones and in your organs. Pretty soon your body becomes disabled and old and sick and broken down. So, you know, the power of your mind is incredible, and you can use the power of your mind to destroy yourself, and you can also use the power of your mind to turn your life around. You got to believe that your life can turn around, or your health challenges can disappear. You got to believe that everything can be healthy. You can be healthy. You can be well. And, you know, I believed that my whole life. I struggled with it my whole life until 3 or 4 years ago when I learned basically the stuff I do with my clients on how to help you improve your nutritional status so your body can turn itself around and heal itself. This is what I do. So come to the Weiner Wellness Center, spend an hour with me, call 412-922-9355, 412-922-WELL. Set an appointment with me and we'll get you on the course to see what we can do to help you turn your life around. So Dr. Versendaal was initially taught by Dr. George Goodheart and Dr. Johnston. And he used this as the initial basis for his new to be formed C.R.A., which is contact reflex analysis. Dr. Versendaal continued to find correlations between the structures, nutritional chemistry, and the reflexes of the body. In his next phase, the patient's symptoms, reflex testing, medical test results, adjustments, nutritional treatments, and final results, these were all documented. This isn't something that some guy made up in his garage and just started doing it. They documented all these different things and proved its efficacy and actually started a college for this, right? So medical tests, including blood, urine, endocardiograph, and x-rays were done at various intervals over a period of time. And it was with the combined efforts and expertise of Dr. Versendaal, Dr. Northhouse, Harry Eidner, Dr. Ed Hartman, and Walid Karachi, he was a hematologist, that all these tests could be performed. They did all these tests and documented all these things to prove that this is a really viable method of helping people discover what's wrong and helping people overcome their health challenges. So these methods were invaluable in the research and development of applied clinical nutrition and contact reflex analysis. So the team worked diligently to collect enormous amounts of data, compile, organize, analyze, and to synthesize it into a simple, accurate method that doctors can use in their daily practice. These records went to the Palmer College of Chiropractic for further study. Along comes Dr. Devi Nambudripad. Now, she's a chiropractor, an acupuncturist, a registered nurse. She had her PhD in physics, and she had some other degree as well. She and her son had multiple food and environmental allergies. She would eat something and would pass out. She'd eat something and be in bed for 3 days. Chronic fatigue would just consume her when she ate the wrong things. And through kinesiology testing, she knew which foods and which environmental substances she really had to avoid. And through kinesiology testing, she had a list of foods that were good for her. And this one day, she ate some carrots that were on her good list, but these carrots came from a different supplier than she was normally used to. And they must have been sprayed with something, there must have been some chemical in it. But she ate these carrots and started to pass out. So when this happened, because this has happened several times before, her staff would hurry up and go get her acupuncture needles, and they put needles in her in the acupuncture meridians of her body, on the adrenal meridians of her body, to help give her a boost of adrenaline. And they didn't get the needles in her in time, and she passed out. So they just let her sleep it off. But when she woke up, she was horrified because the bag of carrots that they tested her with that she failed on was on her chest. But when she got up, she felt like rested. She felt vibrant. She felt alive. And they tested her again on those carrots, and she was no longer had a weak response to those carrots. So this is like one of those aha moments. It's like, this is it. So through acupuncture at first, holding the thing that she was allergic to in a glass jar so she wasn't physically directly exposed to it, she's exposed to electromagnetic field, the radiation that it gave off. She used acupuncture and reversed her negative response to all these things initially, her and her son. But she found out later you didn't have to use acupuncture needles. You can use finger pressure and stimulate points all around the body while you hold what you're allergic to, and your body will reset. And this was just absolutely amazing to her because she pretty much got her and her son got their life back because they were just plagued with all sorts of allergies. And this was 1984. She wrote a book called Say Goodbye to Illness. If you have allergies, you want to read up on this, get her book, Say Goodbye to Illness. So teaching doctors NAET, which is Nambudripad's, let me see if we can do this, which is Nambudripad's allergy elimination technique. This was initially used, she initially used acupuncture to treat her and her son. She found she could use finger pressure and stimulate acupressure reflex points instead of acupuncture and reverse allergies. She wrote her book, Say Goodbye to Illness. And then she has been teaching Nambudripad's allergy elimination technique. It's like NEAT, but spelled the wrong way. So she developed her own NAET testing vials, which we have a lot of those here in the office here, all these testing vials. Many of them came from Dr. Nambudripad. But later on, she didn't teach a breathing technique with it. She taught many different doctors along the way. She taught Dr. Ellen Cutler, Dr. Roy Keller, and she taught Dr. Weiner. Dr. Kerry, let's see, do I have this here? So Dr. Kerry and Dr. Weiner. Dr. Kerry is a medical doctor practicing, I don't know if he still is or not, in Greenville, PA. And he ran ear, nose, throat, and allergy associates for over 30 years, and he gave people allergy shots. And allergy shots, when I was reading about those can be high in aluminum. And how many shots do you got to get for allergies? You're constantly dosing the body with aluminum and aluminum and aluminum. So he learned Dr. Devi's NAET system, and it was so wildly successful that he got so busy that he opened up a second office in Portersville to handle all the people. He was instrumental in bringing Dr. Nambudripad to the area, and Dr. Weiner was in that first training class that she did on allergy reversals in the Pittsburgh area. And that's where Dr. Weiner learned this. And since then, literally thousands of people have benefited from her teaching these two guys here, this system. And I learned this years and years ago as well. So along comes Dr. Ellen Cutler, who was trained by Dr. Devi in her procedures, but she taught the incorporation of breathing techniques with the Nambudripad's allergy elimination technique. So now you no longer had to avoid for 25 hours the substance that you were treated for. Let me explain that. So say, for instance, you're allergic to cats and you have cats in your house. Dr. Devi would want you to wash your clothes, wash a set of clothes, bring them out of the dryer, put them in a plastic bag, and take them to her office with you. Change your clothes at her office, put your old clothes in a bag, and stay away from them. And then she would do the allergy reversal treatment, and you had to avoid completely the things she treated you for at least 25 hours, which generally meant you couldn't go back home to your own house for a day, over a day. So when Dr. Ellen Cutler learned her procedure, she discovered when you do a separate breathing technique with this allergy reversal treatment, you no longer had to avoid the things she was treating you for 25 hours. Tilt that up just a hair. So, if I do an allergy reversal on cats, you can go home to your house right away. You can be around cats right away. And we have some stories to tell about that. So this is pretty amazing, isn't it? It sounds far-fetched, but it truly is amazing. So the instant you touch or you think about anything, your entire body senses the electromagnetic energy field, the radiant field that it gives off, and the frequency of vibration of it. Your body instantly knows whether it's going to be constructively interfere with you or destructively interfere with you. And of course, you can use this to your advantage and discover if something is good for you simply by holding it or thinking about it. So you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be physically present for you to test on it, which is an amazing thing. And Dr. Weiner would do this, I thought that's just crazy. But as I've been doing it for years and years and years, it's very effective. Okay, now who would profit from discrediting this? Here we go. Here we go. Who would profit from discrediting this? So the BS by Big Pharma. So I did a search online for this, and this is what I came up with. So this is directly from the Google there. So in a critical appraisal of Nambudripad's allergy elimination techniques, Stephen Barrett of Quackwatch writes, which if you know about Quackwatch, it's a big pharma paid political hack place that wants to downplay anything that basically has been helping people without drugs. So he writes, so listen to this. NAET clashes with the concepts of anatomy, physiology, pathology, physics, and allergy accepted by the scientific community. The story of its, quote, discovery is highly implausible. Its core diagnostic approach, muscle testing for allergies, is senseless and is virtually certain to diagnose non-existing problems. Its recommendations for dietary restrictions based on non-existent food allergies are likely to place the patient at great risk for nutrient deficiency and, in the case of children, at risk for social problems and the development of eating disorders. So I read this and I'm just, wow, that is an amazing hack job on this. In the meantime, Dr. Weiner did thousands of allergy reversal treatments and helped thousands and thousands of people. And so has Dr. Kerry, and since 1984, 36 years, people across the United States have been using this with great effect, including myself. So let's not get into this. This is a pH scale. Basically, you want to alkalize your body as much as possible, get more minerals in your system, really reduce the amount of wheat, barley, rye, and oats you eat. to help to limit the blocking of your absorption of minerals. So let me give you some stories here. Saving Binks's life. I talked about this the other day, but this is the allergy course, so we're going to talk about this again. My brother's Ken's dog Binks was dying. Binks was the coolest dog. I should have put a picture up here. I'll do it on the next time I do this. Binks was a Doberman Greyhound mix, and he was a blast. He would run like a nut. He was very, very loving and just the coolest dog. So, and really, really smart. And he was almost 7 years old. And for 4 months, he had taken critically ill. He was shaking. He wasn't eating. My brother had to carry him outside for him to do his business. He was making accidents all over the floor. And really, when he had stopped eating, he was on his way out. My brother had taken him to 4 different veterinarians, and no one could find out what was wrong with him. He was in Cadiz, Kentucky at the time, and I was in Ambridge, PA. And so I remotely tested Binks. I relaxed. I channeled into that energy of information that's out there, and I remotely tested Binks. I scanned his body mentally, and I saw where he had issues inside of him. I looked and looked and looked. The only thing I could really see was he had some issue with his heart, like he had some kind of bacteria affecting his heart. There was something going on with his heart. And I saw that the food he was eating was talking to him. He was eating raw chicken, and my brother would grind up all these different vegetables and like super nutrient dense meals he was eating all the time. He was a very healthy dog up to that point, but he must have gotten some bacterial infection, and his heart wasn't doing very well. So I tested him remotely for a bunch of different supplements with kinesiology, self-kinesiology, and I came up with a list of things and decided, he's on his way out. Why don't I just drive down? And I told my brother this, and he's like, really, you do that? Like, yeah, I'll drive down. Instead of just overnighting them to him, let's do this right now. So I drove, it was about 12 hours total. It was like, I think it's nine and a half hours straight shot. But anyway, I got there, it was 1 in the morning, something like that. And my brother Ken and I physically, directly tested his dog Binks. And he tested very strongly for everything I tested him for. He tested poorly on the chicken he was eating. And so we decided to get some frozen turkey and some other things and grind that up for him to get raw meat, as well as all these raw vegetables. All the vegetables he was eating was okay, but his previous chicken wasn't good for him. And basically 3 days, he completely turned around and was regular nut dog that he was beforehand. And for 4 months, he was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And he was literally, I thought, Ken thought he was, days or hours from just leaving the earth. And this happened 2 more times in 3 years, but basically he lived at least 3 more years and was a healthy dog. Amazing. So that's what I discovered. The Dr. Water would talk about this, and I always thought that that's nuts. But until it worked for me, it's like, wow, really? Binks lasted 3 more years. So we talked about this. Okay, 10-year-old boy grass story. Look at this poor kid. Can you imagine being a mom? The color is a little bit off on this. He had more, the red was, of his eyes were much baggier, red looking. But anyway, his mom took him in May, like May 1st, to a park. And the grass was out there, and he's playing in the grass. And he came up to his mom. His mom was just aghast, looking at him like, oh my goodness. Well, she was friends with a lady that worked here. And so she brought her in to see me. This was maybe 10 days later. I tested him. I found out what group of 90 nutrients are good for him. We found out what food was good for him. We found out what foods he really needed to stay away from. I tested him. I have a kit. There's 75 vials in a kit like this that it has like 16 different vials of grasses in it and trees and all these different things. And he failed on 13 of the 16 grasses in there. And we did an allergy reversal treatment for the grasses. And again, I'm not making any claims that this will fix you, this will cure you. This is just what we did for this boy. And lo and behold, a week later, he was out playing in the same park and did a handstand in a pile of grass and had no reaction to it. That's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Okay, my wife's mango story. So my friend did some regression hypnotherapy and shut off her negative response to mangoes. And for a number of years, she was fine with mangoes. And all of a sudden, she started having more reactions to mangoes, and her lips would swell up. And, it's weird. She ate mangoes, and her mouth was just swelling up. So I did an allergy reversal treatment for her for mangoes, and to this day, she has no problem eating them. Black Labrador Retriever story. So there was a couple that came into a chiropractic office I was working at years ago. And the wife tells me, what can you do for Jack, her husband Jack? Because he sneezes all the time. And so I was talking to him. I said, really? I said, when you're at work, are you okay? He goes, yeah, I'm okay. I want to work. I said, when you're home, you sneeze all the time. He goes, yes. And how long has it been going on? He goes, probably for about 1.5 years. I said, do you have any dogs or cats at home? And he says, yeah, we got a dog. I said, how long have you had the dog? He goes, probably about 1.5 years. Well, Mr. Wizard, maybe you're allergic to your dog. So I remotely tested him then because the dog wasn't there. I said, well, think about your dog. Let me see how you respond to your dog. And super weak response to his dog. I said, brush your dog, get as much dog fur as you can into a jar and bring it into me, and we'll test you again. If you have an issue, we'll do an allergy reversal treatment for that. So they brought in a spaghetti sauce jar full of black Labrador Retriever hair. And I tested him on it, and he was just as weak as could be. We did the allergy reversal treatment, and lo and behold, we did the allergy reversal treatment for it, and he went home. 2 weeks later, the wife came back in, and she goes, I got to tell you about Jack. And I had done so many of these that I forgot I did an allergy reversal treatment on their dog. I said, what's wrong with Jack? What happened? She goes, oh, no. She goes, you did the allergy reversal for a dog. I'm like, oh, yeah, how's he doing? She goes, he hasn't sneezed since. And that's when she told me that her husband was not only sneezing, but he was sniffling snot back up his nose constantly. And she was pregnant with her first child, and she was ready to choke him to death. But because that was driving her nuts. But now that was completely gone, and they were happy. So kids' asthma story. There was a family that came in where the two kids had asthma, and the wife had a bunch of allergies. Ended up doing an allergy reversal treatment on her for a couple things, and she was like, wow, that works super well. So she brought her kids into me, and after like the third allergy reversal treatment for these kids, this is before I knew about the nutrition end of things, she had told me, like, you know what, they have no asthmatic symptoms anymore. I'm like, really? And while I was working there were about 11 people who told me the same thing, that their asthma symptoms disappeared after we did several different allergy reversal treatments on things. So that's the kid's story. The kid's father, like the mother came to see me, the two kids came to see me. The father, the typical negative, oh, that's a bunch of nonsense, very closed-minded type person. But he was sneezing and sniffling constantly. And when he was at work, he was fine. But when he got home, he would sneeze and sniffle. Within 5 minutes of being home, his nose is running and he is blowing, sneezing, and so forth. And he knew he was allergic to the cat. But he didn't think that what I did had any efficacy. But after about a month of his wife beating his ear to get in here and do something about it, he finally did. He came in, and I tested him, and he went super weak in response to the cats. He's like, well, you're pushing harder. And you're going to get that from time to time. So when I test people, I don't try to super overpower people, because you're going to wear a person's shoulder out. So in that, when people will say that to me, you're just pressing hard. So I said, fight me really hard. So without the cat fur in his hand, without that, fight me really hard. He's super strong. Pick up the cat fur, fight me really hard. And they just drop like a rock. And they look at you like, no, do that again. So we did that again on this arm. We did it again on this arm. And he's like, okay. So we did an allergy reversal treatment for the cats. So he went home, and the wife was telling me, because I never saw him again, but the wife told me when he got home for over 2 hours, he was in his workshop at home working on something. He noticed, like, I haven't sneezed or sniffled once. He's like, that can't be. And he went over and got the cat and stuck his face in the cat, and he had no negative response to it, which blew his mind. But of course, his pride got the better of him, and he never came back in. But I fixed him for his cat issues. So folks, allergy reversing, allergy testing, everything is an energy. Literally everything is an energy. People can say, well, how can holiness, how can you test on holiness? Well, how does your cell phone, you can be in the middle of a big skyscraper building in an elevator and still get a cell phone signal. How does that work? It goes right through the steel beams, right through concrete, right through how many miles of sky to the satellite up in the sky. How does that work? There's energy that's transferred. There's the energy, microwaves, whatever goes off. Everything vibrates. Everything has its own field that it emits. In certain fields, your body's made of the same things. And certain fields are going to make you strong, and certain fields are going to make you weak. And you can quickly scan the body for reflexes, for pathogens, scan the body for reflexes for the organs. You find which particular nutrient strengthens all the weak reflexes, and maybe get on a nutritional regime to change that up. Many people have so many issues with digesting food. They have such negative responses to food. And it isn't allergies. It's the inability to digest food properly. And most people have no clue. They're very, very poor at this. And the reason for that, what I believe, is that your nutrition level is absolutely not optimal. There are big research studies done where they looked at did autopsies on over 20,000 animals and humans, 480 different vertebrate animal species. And they found that all vertebrates, including humans, require all these nutrients to function, and most people don't get these nutrients in their body completely on an everyday basis. And that's basically what I did 3 or 4 years ago, and my entire body radically changed. I mean, I couldn't bench press the bar before because I had so much pain in my chest and my shoulders and my joints. And now I'm maxing out the machines at the gym before everything was shut down. My life, I got stronger, better, more function as I aged in the last 2 or 3 years. And the difference was the daily nutrition radically changed. So this is what I do. Come in and see me. Spend an hour with me. Call the Weiner Wellness Center at 412-922-9355. And this is basically the pathway I will set you on. We're going to look at your pathway to health and healing 101. This is something that should be taught to everybody out there from the times the kids are young until they're old. You got to avoid inflammatory agents. The things that really irritate your body. You avoid these things. How do you know what's irritating your body? Muscle tests for it, energy tests for it. We can test all these things and find out what you have a very negative response to and avoid those things. Put on immune system fires. Dr. Versendaal taught these different reflexes on the body that correlated to bacteria, virus, fungus, and parasites. I never say, you have a viral infection and it's XYZ virus. I will never do that. But if this one particular reflex is weak, I can test you to see which particular immune boosting supplement strengthens those weak reflexes, will improve your nutritional status to help you deal with these things. And then your teeth. Your teeth, all the energy of your body goes through your mouth and through your teeth. And if you have a root canal, an infected crown tooth, or mercury fillings, you are significantly blocking voltage to 2 different organs in your body for each one of those teeth. And you need voltage to make new cells. You need voltage to catalyze all these different reactions that are supposed to happen in your cells. And with the proper voltage, you can alkalize your body. With improper voltage, you may be becoming too acidic. And that's a better breeding ground for all the trouble. So if you have issues with your teeth, you can call the office here, 412-922-9355. There's 2 different naturopathic doctor, biological dentists that we refer people to. We'll give you that information. So look at your teeth. I test people on teeth and show you where this tooth's strong, this tooth's strong, that next tooth is weak. And that tooth is on the liver, gallbladder, meridian. And lo and behold, usually on the body, that reflex is weak on their body too. Okay, so then you got to take in all these different nutrients and special formulas, but you got to be able to digest it and break it down. This is what Dr. Weiner has always said. As people age, it's more and more difficult for you to get nutrients out of your food. Your digestive capacity decreases. Well, I've seen so many people's digestive capacity radically increase once they nutrified their body. People come in to see me, the first visit, usually they fail on 40 to 60 different foods, which is, people have no clue. They have such a negative response to so many different things. And they test them all these reflexes on their body. There may be 6 to 12 different weak reflexes on their body. And then they decide to take, we find out which particular nutrients strengthen all these things, what group of 90 nutrients helps them, which digestive aid, digestive enzymes, stomach acid formula helps them with foods. And they'll choose to eliminate the foods that have a negative response to. They'll choose to take in their vitamins and minerals, to change their diet up, avoid wheat, barley, rye, and oats, It's amazing. People come back 4 weeks later and they have no negative response to foods anymore other than wheat and barley and rye and oats and occasionally one or two other things. And sometimes they'll fail on cats on their first visit, and their second visit, they don't fail on cats. And what changed? Well, you're replacing cells in your body all the time. Your skin, you're replacing your skin cell. Every cell of your skin is completely replaced every 6 weeks. Every cell of your brain, every 8 months. It takes 2 years to replace every cell of your bones. And the problem people have is you're tearing down old, weak, nutritionally deficient cells that have some level of dysfunction, and the average person is building new, weak, nutritionally deficient cells that have the same level of dysfunction. So if you change your lifestyle, you change the way you eat, you change the way you digest food, you change the way you supplement your body to get all these different nutrients in your body on a daily basis, giving you much more complete daily nutrition. I've seen so many people's lives change radically. And so that's what I do here, folks. So you got to be able to digest your food and break it down. And then you got to eliminate toxic chemicals, heavy metals, and waste products. We live in a radically toxic environment compared to what this place was, even 200 years ago. If you lived here in year 1200, you may have been exposed to some fire smoke toxins. Other than that, what were you exposed to? Like nothing. Nowadays, we're bombarded in every different facet of our lives. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the chemicals they put in our foods, all these toxins. You got to eliminate that stuff from your body. Take the right nutritional regimes to bind to this stuff to flush it out of your system. Or while you're improving the functioning of your cells, their capacity to eliminate toxins as well. And then improve energy flow through scars. Scars can interfere with the way voltage flows in your body. Finding the right essential oil applied to scars may radically help improve the way voltage flows in those areas, as well as on the reflex points at the bottom of your feet. They suggest not putting essential oils directly on your skin. You have to cut them with a carrier oil, so they don't. Some people get the blisters from essential oils on your skin. And then you got to exercise. You got to move your body. Moving your body draws nutrients into your joints and helps your lymphatic system drain. You got to move. Being sedentary is a prescription for a shorter life, I believe. But your mind is amazingly powerful. And you can use the mental imaging. You could use relaxation techniques, meditation techniques, and you just got to believe. You got to believe that there's help for you out there. You got to believe that no matter what your health challenges are, that because you are replacing cells all the time, you can turn it around. You can turn things around. I've seen amazing, miraculous things happen with people by changing their diet. A lady who had chronic diarrhea for 35 years and Crohn's disease, gone. Another lady had irritable bowel syndrome for 22 years, gone. All these people had allergy issues, gone. People had digestive issues, gone. People had rashes on their body, gone. Girl had open sores, nasal fissures in her nose, gone. All these things, radically changed. So folks, do what you can to come in to see me. We're at the Wider Wellness Center is open. We're open for business. We're seeing clients as well. Our sale that's going on is going on right now. We are not allowing people into the store because there's been no way we can handle the social distancing thing. But you can come up and fill out a form. We'll bring forms out to your car. You fill out the form, and we can we can get your order taken care of right then and there. You can fax your orders in to orders@drweiner.com. You can email it in at orders@drweiner.com. Fax it at 412-922-9330, or just stop by and we'll take care of it. Or you can call in, 412-922-9355. Call in your order, and we'll have it ready for you when you come pick it up. We also have free shipping on our products. Right now during the sale, we've never had free shipping. We also have free shipping, greatly discounted products and free shipping. So folks, that's my presentation for today. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you. Come in and see me, do what you can, and let's go and see if we have any questions we need to answer right here. So Tracy, you're still there? Do we have questions with people?
I am still here. I'm just getting to the video. Here, let me get it. Okay.
Let me escape out of here.
Yeah, so I had some questions coming in about how long does it take to overcome certain allergies?
Certain allergy takes 10 minutes.
Really? Okay.
It takes me about 10 minutes to do this allergy reversal treatment, and then you have to hold what it is for a half hour afterwards, so maybe 40 minutes.
Okay.
And sometimes just one treatment, many times just one treatment is all you need. Many people have told me, they came in with issues with cats or dogs. I have a jar full of wonderful dog hair here. Cats and dogs. I treated a lady on her parakeet. Did parakeet allergy reversal one day. Grasses, all sorts of stuff. It takes about 10 minutes to physically do this. It takes you a half hour, sit there with it afterwards. And what was explained to me is traumas somewhere along the way in this life, or if you believe in previous lives, some trauma happened and shut off your ability to handle it, where you went to an inflammatory response to it. Dr. Devi in her book talks about this couple was out to dinner, and she was eating a dinner roll, and she got a phone call that her son was horribly mangled in a car wreck and being life flighted to the hospital. Could you imagine that emotional trauma?
Wow.
To get this phone call, and she ran to the hospital, and the son was basically, son survived, but it was very touch and go for a while. And it turns out that after that, her bowels closed down, and she couldn't go to the bathroom anymore, and was trying all these things over almost a week, and she wasn't going. And she went and saw Dr. Devi. Devi tested her a bunch of things. Said, anything happened in your life recently? Any slip and fall? Emotional traumas? Yeah, emotional traumas. And she told her about this thing. She goes, where were you when you got the news? I was at a restaurant. Do you know if you were eating anything when you got that call? Yeah, I was eating a dinner roll. So she went, she was go to the restaurant, get some of those dinner rolls. She brought it back to her, and she did an allergy reversal for those dinner rolls. And the lady's intestinal function was restored.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of like flipping a switch in your mind, in that woman's mind. They say her mind treated that trauma, treated the dinner roll as a trauma. She got that phone call at the same time. So you can get exposed to a chemical while you're eating something. You can get in a superheated argument or a fight with somebody while you're eating and digesting something, and it shuts off your response to this. You can be bitten by a dog as a kid, or a cat, or threatened by an animal like that. And now your body treats that as a poison, a toxin, as something that's terrible for you. And this type of treatment stimulates these reflex points with while you're holding the energy of it, and something in your body flips that switch, and you don't have that negative response anymore. Absolutely amazing.
Well, the other thing, Jeff, is we learned from Ivy Proust the other day that, anything is communication to your genes, right? So it's food, it can be a trauma. This is all communication. That's kind of what you're talking about. I think that's really interesting with the woman, because the emotional connection to the colon is stuck in life. So literally in that instant, she had the emotional trauma, the connection of being stuck, the food, pretty amazing stuff, how the body does actually learn from the environment you're in. Like you're learning every day whether to thrive, survive, or no longer exist, right? I mean, that's kind of the learning curve we have. But this was really fascinating. I tagged a couple of my friends whose kids have a lot of allergies, and I have referred them to you. So once you are, opening the doors again after the sale and allowing customers to come in to set an appointment, she wants to come up and see you with her son. He has this severe grass and egg allergy, which I don't think egg is atypical. What are the top three that you see for allergies?
Dairy, tomatoes, grass, cats more than dogs.
I thought you said hats. I was like, we can't be friends anymore.
Yes, hats. I can treat you for your hat.
This is hypoallergenic, just so you know.
It's in line with the 5K blocking shield.
I'm really more allergic to bad hair than I am hats. So the hat worked for me, and it offset my bad hair allergy. Yeah. No, this was great. Let me take a look at other, what are some of the products you recommend to complement this? Do you like lymphatic products, immune products? What are some of your complementary complementary protocols?
Yeah, with everybody, it's different. Some people have challenges to the immune system with pathogens. Other people, you know, are just too toxic. They need to detoxify. Almost everybody's nutrient deficient. Everybody should be on a quality multivitamin, a quality essential fatty acid, a quality mineral, and if you're older, maybe a quality digestive formula. And that could be a stomach acid support, that could be digestive enzyme support, that could be gallbladder, emulsification support, you know, oxbol extract, that type of thing. We'll test your body and your body will say, because everybody's different, everybody has their own unique challenges, everybody's unique, but you can quickly scan the reflexes and find out what their body says, hey, I want this, this, and this, but not those. Your body will tell you. It's truly, truly amazing thing.
Awesome. All right, so they can schedule with you at any time at 412-922-WELL, W-E-L-L, and get on your calendar because I know it fills up rather fast. We don't want to get on a waiting list, but this has been amazing. Thank you so much for your expertise and your time today. So everybody enjoy this video, share it with a friend that, you know, could benefit from all the great information Jeff has shared with us, and get on his calendar. It's really important that you get this under control now so that it doesn't become something worse later. So.
Yes, yeah, get this information out there. I mean, one of my other favorite stories is this lady was 62 years old who had brutal migraines her whole life and very limited in what she could eat. Basically couldn't function in society very well because of all these challenges. And she's absolutely thrilled how she doesn't have headaches anymore. She can eat all these things she never could eat in her whole life. It took a little while for us to do basically improve her nutritional status, get her body detoxifying, get her digesting food better, do a bunch of allergy reversal treatments. But she cuts, I don't know how many acres of grass several times a week, and she's brutally allergic to grass. And the instant she gets on her way to the lawnmower, her nose is already running and sneezing. And she takes a whole box of Kleenex with her while she's mowing the grass. And she doesn't have to do that anymore, which is
great.
Yeah, truly amazing.
So could this work in the reverse where we could make people allergic to bad food and poor food choices? I mean, I think we could have a whole protocol on that chapter. You're not allergic to good food and allergic to bad food. So, all right, I'm just kidding, but not really. All right, well, thank you. Yeah, thanks, Jeff. This has been great. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today. This is our last lecture. Go back and watch the videos. You are absolutely want to do a recap. All right.
Yeah, like and share, tomorrow. Folks. Like and share. Like and share. Great. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you so much. Love you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.